Hi everybody, welcome back to the Acre Homestead. Today I'm going to do a garden tour. It is April 21st, I believe, and I'm just going to show you what's going on. We don't really have much in the vegetable garden yet because we're in zone 9, so it's still pretty cold, but we do have some things started and different fruit trees and berry bushes budding out. So I'm just going to show you what our yard looks like right now, and then I'm going to try to do a tour every month or so. Okay, so let's get started with our tomato plants. So right here I have, I don't know, maybe 20 tomato plants. I actually have total about 60 some tomato plants. I'm planning to put 36 in our garden, and I have I think about 18 varieties, so about 2 of each variety. I planted extras so I would have some to give away, and just because some don't come up. So these are in soil blocks because I ran out of like black pots to plant them in, and I'm too cheap to buy any. So you can see another video where I made my own soil blocker, and I have a link to a recipe for soil block mix, which works really well, but I feel like if I have the pots, it's easier to just use pots. But that's why those are in soil blocks. Let me show you the rest of the tomato plants over here. And if you watch a previous video, actually I don't think I've uploaded it yet, but maybe I will by the time I upload this video. You'll see where I planted these, and I talk about all the varieties we have. I plant these about the middle of March, so about March 15th, just to make sure they're ready to go in the garden by the beginning of May. So let's see, so they're a little over a month old, and they're coming along nicely. And then this bed right here that you see with the wood chips, this is our blueberry bed, and we've these wood chips have been here 1 year. We are kind of testing out the back to Eden method a little bit here, because I don't know, I'm a little nervous to put wood chips over my whole vegetable garden. So you'll see we have several blueberries. These were here when we moved in. Well, they were in a different spot in our yard, and I moved them here. And then we've laid down the wood chips, and then this year I've started trying putting some lettuce down in the wood chips also. So you'll see we have, I don't know, maybe 30 different little plants of lettuce, and they seem to be growing well. And then we'll move over here. I feel like our yard is a pretty big mess right now, and I just can't keep up with work, and then it just rains all the time and I can't get it all the way cleaned up, but that's all right. This is a peach tree that came up from seed right next to our compost pile, so I've just been letting it grow. It seems like it grows about 3 feet per year. I think this is like the 3rd year it's been growing here. It's ridiculous. And you can see all the blossoms have fallen off now, but it looks like it may have peaches. And I haven't had any issue with peach leaf curl the last couple years on this one, so maybe it will be okay. And then around here's our compost pile. We've been weeding our garden, and this is why we're wondering if we should switch to back to Eden, because there are just tons of weeds. So we've been piling the weeds in our compost. We're going to compost them and then put that compost back on the garden. If you come over here, you can see some of our compost that is basically done. And I have a couple things going on there. I pruned our fig tree, and I just stuck the trimmings in here to see if they would grow roots. And you'll see this one and another one there look like the leaves are going to grow, so they may be growing roots. So I'll leave those for a while longer, and then we'll pull them out and check. And then this is a persimmon, a chocolate persimmon tree. It was going to be our second persimmon tree, and I'm pretty sure one of our kids just broke it off. So I dug it out and planted a new tree there, but I put it in our compost to see if it might grow. And if you look really carefully right here, there's a bud that is growing. The thing is, the graft is right there, so I don't know if that is the rootstock or the actual chocolate persimmon that was grafted onto the rootstock that's growing. So if you have an idea which one that is, let me know. So I think I'm gonna plant that somewhere again. So if you back up a little bit, right here is more finished compost. So I just store it in this garbage can until I'm ready to use it. So we've been getting lots of compost, so that's good. And then you can see our vegetable garden here, which we've just been pulling tons of weeds out. You can see there's still a section out there with weeds. And I really would like to figure out how to get that under control, maybe with the Back to Eden method. There's one bed out there you'll see with fennel coming up. And there's a few other things. There's a rhubarb right next to it to the right, and then there's some lettuce in the back, an artichoke that came up from last year, let's see, a kale plant, and then I replanted our rosemary plant in that bed. So I'm not going to be rototilling that bed, but probably will rototill the rest of the garden, which is another thing. I know a lot of people think you shouldn't rototill, but that's how I've always done it, and our garden does great. And so I'm a little nervous to just try something different since it goes so well anyways. So let's go over here and look at our persimmon tree. Our persimmon tree is budding out. And I don't know, last year, if you watched our previous video, we had over 150 persimmons, so I'm guessing this year we're gonna have less, but who knows, maybe 30 or 40. We'll see, and we'll keep you updated. You'll also see our big lilac bushes in the back of our garden, which those were there when we moved in. And I'm thinking about digging them out and taking them out of there so that we can plant fruit trees maybe. And then over here you'll see our apple trees, which this is the first time this tree has ever had blossoms. This is our Tompkins King apple, so we're looking forward to seeing if it will have apples. And there's another one with a bunch of blossoms. This one, I don't remember what variety it is, but I could look it up. But it looks like we may have some apples for the first time ever on these apple trees. So we have 5 apple trees in a row here. And then let's go back on this side of the house. This is another peach tree. This one was specifically bred to resist the peach leaf curl. So I don't know, there's some brown spots, maybe those are red spots on the leaves. Well, I don't know, we'll see how it does. But this one I actually bought, and I think it was pretty expensive. I guess not that bad, it was $35. This, I planted it about a year ago, so hopefully this year we'll have peaches. And then this is our newest tree. This is a Illinois everbearing mulberry, which I'm thinking about replanting it somewhere else, because right here is really close to our neighbor's front door, and I've heard these are really messy, so they probably would appreciate it if we don't drop a bunch of mulberries right where they walk into their house and track those in there. So I think I may move that maybe to where the lilac bushes are if I take those out. So let's go in front. I don't think I've ever put this on a video. Charlie, you need to go back there and play. So come on out here, and I can't even remember what this is. We planted it last year. This is the goji berry. I don't know, we've never had any, we didn't have berries on it last year. I don't know if we're gonna this year. It doesn't seem to be growing a lot. I don't know why. We have a gooseberry here. which I see a lot of berries on it already. So it seems to be doing well. And then we've never had fruit on this. This has only been in the ground a year too. This is a jujube Lee, and I thought it maybe died, but I guess it just has to be really warm before it buds out. It looks like it's coming out there. This was a flower bed that we ripped all the flowers out except for this one we really like. Hydrangea, that's what it is. I'm not really into flowers, just stuff you can eat. So this is our fig tree. This is, well, my dad gave us this tree, so I don't know for sure what variety it is, but I think it might be a Desert King, which is one of the best for our area in Zone 9 here in the Pacific Northwest. And you can see little figs. All these are little figs already coming. These are called the Breba crop because they grow on last year's wood. And I've successfully rooted one of these branches. When I planted it deep, planted one of the branches in the ground, and it grew roots, and I potted it and we gave it away. But since then I've tried to air layer one and it didn't grow roots. So we'll see if those ones I showed you in the compost grow roots. Over here's our strawberry bed, which we've had these strawberries in about 2 years. So we've had 2 seasons of strawberries, and a lot of them have died back, so we need to replenish those. I've ordered some strawberries. You can see they're already blossoming, so we'll have strawberries in a month or 2. And then up there on our porch you'll see we have ordered a wood chipper, an electric wood chipper, which we'll show you how that works another time. All right, let's keep going here. I think we're almost all the way around our house. Here we have blackberries that I've never shown you before. I planted these last year and we had only like 8 or 10 blackberries on them. Like down here, this is where the blackberries were, but they put out a lot of new growth towards the end of the year, and now they're putting out more new growth, so I think we'll have a lot of blackberries this year. And then the last thing, this little bed here is where we have our tree kale, our purple tree kale. We had a really cold winter. You'll have seen that in some of our other videos, like 15 degrees a couple nights. So all of our tree kale died except for this one little plant. I had started a bunch of plants in pots and in the garden, and only one survived. So hopefully we can get more rootings on that in case it dies again. We'll probably have to keep some in the house if it gets that cold again. And then we have more lettuce down there, you'll see. And let's see, that's basically it. I don't have anything else started. I guess I could show you, we have a blueberry in a pot here. This is a pink lemonade blueberry, which I think maybe we got like 5 blueberries last year, but this year it has a lot of blossoms. And then up in here I have quite a few leeks that we're gonna plant, and then more leeks and some lettuce, broccoli, all getting ready to go in the garden. And that's basically it. So hope you enjoyed this tour, and if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any answers to some of my questions, let me know, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.